Hi, I'm Lizzie and this is Laura, and we are currently sailing on board Marella Explorer. This is a 7-night voyage called Magical Mediterranean. Today we are in the port of Salerno. From Salerno you can visit places such as Pompeii and Sorrento. However, we have decided to explore the local area.
If you don't want to miss everything that we get up to on board this cruise and any of our other cruises, make sure you subscribe to our channel.
First, we headed up to the pool bar to get ourselves a drink before meeting Dan and Jay and getting off the ship for a little explore around the port area.
We have never been to Salerno before, so we were really interested to see what the actual area looked like and was like. We found it really easy just to get off the ship and walk into the main area. It also had a lovely large sort of plaza area right by the ship where lots of people were taking photos and things like that and getting a good view of Marella Explorer as she was docked there.
One of our aims for the day today was to get ourselves a nice Italian authentic pizza. So we found ourselves a nice restaurant to sit in, and we were not disappointed by the pizzas that we received. The restaurant greeted us by giving us a free glass of Prosecco. Also, we had a little bit of bruschetta, and very excitingly, I had a pizza that was set on fire.
I also really enjoyed my pizza. It wasn't as dramatic as Lizzie's. There was no fire involved, but it was really tasty, and we all commented and said how you could tell that it was a really good quality pizza. The base was just super fluffy and really, really nice. It wasn't expensive at all. I think it ended up costing about £70 by the time the exchange rate had happened. And that was for 4 of us to eat and drink in there.
We then walked where the main shopping street was of Salerno. It was a lovely wide open street. There was a little bit of roadworks going on at one point in it, but there were lots of big brand shops along there, such as Benetton and Pandora. There were also lots of places along there where you could have sat and had a drink or something to eat, and there just seemed to be a really nice atmosphere in the sunshine.
We did also walk past a few churches, but we couldn't get into any of them. They were all closed for the day. We also did try and look for the cathedral. We did follow some signage that we thought was pointing us in the right direction, but we never managed to find it, so we had a bit of a fail there.
We then headed back down to the seafront area and had a little walk along a part where you could get the ferries if you wanted to go on a trip along the Amalfi Coast. There were lots of people using these ferries, clearly coming on holiday to Salerno, maybe for a day or two on their Amalfi Coast tours.
We then walked back along the seafront to the ship. We did come across the beach as well as we walked along. It's not very far from the ship at all. We didn't think it looked like it was the best beach in the world. It was sandy, but there was a lot of like bits of driftwood on there. But they had built a lovely deck area at the top of the beach that was really, really big, and you could see how, you know, in the height of summer, it would be absolutely heaving.
We found getting back on the ship a really easy process. We just had to show our card to one of the Italian security, who were all very relaxed and friendly. And then we went through security on the ship before headed up to the pool bar to enjoy a nice relaxing drink.
While we were at the pool bar, we very sensibly had chosen some seats under the covered area towards the back, and there was just an absolute downpour. It was very quick, to be honest. It didn't last very long at all, but it did pour down really quickly. Everybody dived for cover, and then it was over almost as quickly as it had begun, but everywhere then was soaking wet.
After we had sat outside enjoying what sunshine then reappeared, we headed back to our cabin as we had something really special to get ready for tonight. We wanted to make sure we were ready as we knew our evening was starting with something super fun.
We got ready to meet Dan and Jay in reception for 6:30 as they had very kindly invited us along to the bridge with them for the departure from Salerno. We've never been on the bridge of a cruise ship before, so we were really excited to have this opportunity. And it was also super exciting that we were able to be up there for the departure. So thank you very much to Captain Alan and his team for allowing us to be up there. We were amazed at everything on there, and it was just such an amazing experience for us to be able to have.
Whilst we were up there, Captain Alan very kindly asked if anyone wanted to do the horn, which Jay was very excited to do as it was taking him back to his days of when he worked on board. We were also allowed out onto the wing of the bridge where we took some lovely photographs and just genuinely really enjoyed our experience up there. As you can imagine, the views from the bridge are absolutely spectacular, and it is an experience that we would like to have again.
For dinner then, we had a booking, but there was a little bit of confusion as because we'd been on the bridge, we were a tiny bit late for it. So we had booked tapas at the Mediterranean. We were really excited to try it in there. But when we got down there, the head waiter said that he was unable to seat us at that time because we had missed our slot. He was super helpful and we did manage to get a table in the end, but we just popped outside to have a little drink while he sorted that out for us, and then he called us back in. The annoying thing is that there's no way to sort of notify anyone if you are going to be late or if you want to change a booking. We couldn't find anything anyway, so we weren't able to really do anything about the fact that our booking was going to be missed.
The way that the menu works in the tapas area is that you can start with a sharing board. We decided not to have the sharing board as we are not a massive fan of the cured type of meats that you get, and Laura's not a massive fan of cheese that's not melted. You can then order 3 dishes from the tapas menu. We were really excited for this part. So I went for a gambas pilpil, which is prawns, patatas bravas, and some meatballs.
And I chose the prawns also. I then had the croquettes, and I also had some mushrooms.
We both had a little try of each other's things and actually really enjoyed every single thing we tried. My favourite was probably the prawns, followed by your mushrooms.
Yeah, again, I agree. All of the dishes were really nice. And again, it's a shame almost that you can't have this experience, well, that it would be difficult to get this experience booked more than once, but it is only a very small restaurant.
If you wish, you can just have this as your meal. However, we decided that we wanted to try the skewers that they had on offer. So I had the prawn and salmon skewer, which I found absolutely delicious. I was delighted it was served with piri-piri mayonnaise and coleslaw, and really, really enjoyed this dish.
And then I had the chicken skewer, which also was really, really tasty, and I did enjoy it. However, I don't like mayonnaise, so I did ask if there was any possibility of any other sauce. The waiter said he would go and find out for me, but never returned. So I had to eat my meal with no sauce, which was a little bit dry, but I did still enjoy it. We were too full for dessert, so we decided to move on once we'd finished our food.
We then thought we'd try to see if today we could get a seat in the Squid and Anchor, but once again we couldn't. Today it was even busier than the previous day, and there were people just standing everywhere. Earlier on, we had been speaking to Liam, the cruise director, and he was telling us that basically to get a seat in the Squid and Anchor, you have to get there early and stay in that seat and not move.
We moved on from the Squid and Anchor and walked through the ship. We decided as we were on our way past aperitif to order one of the pink Proseccos that they serve there. This is the only place on the ship that you can get it, and it is included in the premium all-inclusive package. So we both got a glass of that. But we decided not to stay there because, again, it's just a little bit quiet and there isn't any atmosphere. So we took that and walked through the ship and really enjoyed the drink, to be honest. It was very nice.
We were headed in the direction of the lounge, and we have to say tonight we were really struggling to find a seat of anywhere on the ship where we could sit. In the end, we squashed ourselves into a corner next to some other people and just enjoyed sitting chatting to them for a while.
There was then late night comedy in the theatre with the drag act Bella Bluebell. We were really excited once again to see this, as it's very rare that you see a drag act on board a cruise ship, and we were warned many, many times that this was strictly adults only, and that if you were easily offended, then not to attend this event.
The theatre was really, really busy, and everybody seemed to be really enjoying it. People were almost crying with laughter. They were finding it that funny. We won't spoil too much of the show in case you see her at some point, but we really enjoyed it, and it was a really good ending to our day.
Then we headed off up to bed after another really enjoyable day on board Marella Explorer.
Today we really enjoyed our pizza and port, and we really enjoyed our dinner at Tapas at the Mediterranean. We all commented that it is our favourite thing that we have eaten so far on the ship.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and drop any questions you've got in the comments down below. Please do also make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. You can also find us on social media by searching Sisters on the Seas.